Welcome to Quantumly Kinky with Veda, where we talk about sex, Chinese medicine, and character development for the multidimensional you.
Episode 18, The Erotic Algorithm, Programming Desire into Our Daily Code. Welcome back to Quantumly Kinky. I am your host, SarahVeda, and today we put the entire Sexist Tech series together and learn how to activate and program desire into our daily lives. This is our final episode of our Sexist Tech 6-part series, and in this one, we're bringing it home. Into the body, into the field, and into the moment that can program the rest of our erotic reality. Over the past 5 episodes, we've been building a new framework for our erotic intelligence. In episode 1, we cracked open the concept of sexuality as technology, exploring pleasure as a form of embodied programming. In episode 2, we mapped the erotic nervous system, revealing how our turn-on is bioelectric. In episode 3, we explored living technology and how our flesh, breath, and even bones are quantum tools that respond to intention. In episode 4 and 5, we unlocked scalar seduction, diving deep into how sexual energy clears distortion fields and turns us into a multidimensional erotic transmitter. And now, here in our final Sexist Tech episode, we take all of it and code it into our daily life. This episode is all about how to program our system with desire, not by chasing pleasure, but by running pleasure like a computer, not through fantasy, but through functional frequency. This episode is all about building our own erotic algorithm, a core fundamental aspect of the Veda Method. This is about gaining a repeatable, sensual structure that lets us reframe our daily rituals as energetic inputs. It helps us to microdose turn-on as quantum instruction. And our erotic algorithm even aligns our nervous system with arousal instead of stress. It also helps us to rewrite our subconscious patterns through embodiment, not effort. So in this final piece of the Sexist Tech puzzle, we are anchoring it all in. Desire becomes the diagnostic. Pleasure becomes the protocol. And your body, it becomes the code that programs your most turned on timeline. So let's get into it. First, I want to talk about reframing our daily inputs. We wake up and we immediately start to run systems. We check our phones, brush our teeth, maybe worry a little bit, drink our coffee, scroll, perform, and so on. But these are all unconscious algorithms, ones we didn't necessarily choose, and yet they choose the rest of our day for us. But what if we made desire our default operating system. Desire is not random. It's actually an intelligent signal, the kind that tells us what nourishes our voltage, what expands our field, and what's going to keep us in flow. In the Veda Method, I teach that desire is a diagnostic tool to my clients and future patients. And when we work with desire, not against it, we become our own frequency programmers. So today, we are building this erotic algorithm. And this isn't a fantasy, this is a system made of real-time rituals, breath patterns, and body signals that keep us coded for turn on. Take a deep breath with me. So now I want to talk about the erotic nervous system from an Eastern medicine lens. In Chinese medicine, the nervous system is anchored by the heart, or the shen, and the kidneys, or the jing. This is our spiritual spark and our primal battery. These two organ systems form the axis of your Shen-Jing circuit. And this is what governs how we process sensation, emotion, and erotic charge. When this Shen-Jing circuit is misfiring, when the signal between our heart and kidneys is weak or distorted, we feel it. We might find ourselves anxious or numb, maybe burnt out, craving intimacy but unable to receive it. We might even feel stuck in loops. The body actually feels separate from the soul. This is what I call a disruption in our erotic algorithm pathway. The erotic algorithm pathway is our body's natural code for turn on, for clarity and coherence. It's actually how our nervous system interfaces with desire through these bioelectric signals, breath, intention, and pleasure-based action. When this pathway is open and flowing, we feel internally resourced and emotionally regulated. We respond to life with curiosity and turn on instead of contraction or fear. Sensuality feels safe, neutral, nourishing, and natural. Our body becomes a real-time oracle, always feeding back data from the field. This is not about performance. It's about presence. Our erotic algorithm isn't something that we do. It's something we become aware of. It's already running in the background of our biofield. The question is it encrypted with stress and suppression, or is it tuned to pleasure and presence? When we repair this erotic algorithm pathway using breath, acupuncture, touch, sound, micro movements, and energetic intention, we actually rewire our nervous system to recognize turn on as safe and necessary. We make pleasure a viable input for vitality. We allow the body to lead us again. Our nervous system does not need more information. It needs sensation. It needs a clear signal. And it needs your permission to turn on. Now I want to talk about erotic microdosing as some sort of quantum ritual. Let's reframe this concept of erotic microdosing not just as cute acts of self-love throughout the day, but as precision rituals, ones that actually signal the field. Joe Dispenza says, your personal reality becomes your personality. If you want a new reality, you have to become someone else. So think about it like this. Each erotic microdose is not just an act of pleasure. It's actually a vote for your next identity. It's you saying, this is the version of me I'm becoming. I live sensually, I think erotically, and I create from turned on presence. And from a Taoist and quantum view, this is pure frequency entrainment. You're not performing pleasure. You are tuning into it. So, some examples of erotic microdosing that you can do throughout your day is taking a deep breath in your belly with intention, saying something like, I am safe to expand. Or placing your hand on Ren 6 just below your belly button for 10 seconds while imagining liquid gold flowing in to your erotic areas. Even saying your own name like it's a spell is an example of an erotic microdose. Or slowing down your blinking while making eye contact with the mirror or even a lover. Seth, channeled by Jane Roberts, said, "You get what you concentrate upon. There is no other main rule in this reality." So what if we concentrated on desire, not as lack, but as code? That's the new algorithm. And now we are going to program the erotic self. Actually make this a living daily ritual. But first, let's toss the productivity model and bring in something way more ritualistic, cyclical, and organic. Because this is not about time blocking your orgasm. It's about becoming the kind of person whose presence codes the space around them. So next I'm going to talk about 4 clear steps on how to anchor this all in and program our erotic self. First, let's take a deep breath together. So step 1 of programming our erotic self is all about anchoring a frequency, not a task. In the morning, don't just list what you have to do today. Ask, What do I want my field to feel like today? An example of that could be magnetic softness, or ruthless radiance, or even erotic command. Write it on your mirror, or better, trace it on your body with oil. Step 2, set a sensual reminder loop. Choose some sort of repeating symbol throughout your day to remind you of that frequency. It could be something like a sound, a chime, a breath cue, something on your phone, or a texture, like a crystal in your pocket, silk under your shirt, something that you touch throughout the day, or even a word that you whisper when you go to the bathroom. Seriously, this is a great anchor point. This is turning the day into a ritual container. And then we have step 3. Every morning, inform the field. So, borrowed from Joe Dispenza's work, if your future erotic self already existed, how would that person walk, sit, ask for help? This isn't just fake it. It's actually inform the field, because your erotic self is listening, and that person needs your permission to run the new code. And what better way than to program self in the morning, first thing when you wake up? And then we have step 4. Every evening, pulse the field. Before you go to bed, I want you to lay there and do nothing for 1 minute except feel. Where did you let go today? Do you still feel that you're holding any energy? Where did desire show you a new edge? You don't need to fix it, just notice. That's the pulse, and your nervous system will remember it tomorrow. So these 4 steps are going to help us to anchor in and program our erotic self. Step 1, anchor a frequency, not a task. Step 2, setting that sensual reminder loop throughout the day. Step 3, every morning, inform the field. And step 4, every evening, pulse the field. Consciousness is the ultimate technology. And if we're going to talk about sex as tech, we have to close this series with the most advanced, underutilized, and misunderstood technology of all: consciousness. From star to cell, from breath to binary, consciousness is the originating code. Before there was flesh, before there was fire or fiber optic cables, there was frequency, awareness embedded in wave form. In the book Rays of Truth, Crystals of Light by Dr. Fred Bell, he reminds us that man is a star bound to earth by gravity, and consciousness is the tether that returns him to the heavens. Dr. Bell viewed human beings as biochemical radio stations, oscillating constantly between dimensions. Our thoughts and desires literally tuning forks to higher planes. He even described the pineal gland as a crystal oscillator that interfaces with stellar intelligence, our direct connection to both universal memory and future probability lines. This is not a metaphor. This is mechanics. Our consciousness is scalar. It's holographic, self-replicating, and erotic. The orgasm isn't just a neurochemical release. It's an alchemical signal, a pulse of intention that ripples across timelines. Orgasm codes new outcomes, reprograms the self, and emits a signal that tells the cosmos, I am alive, I am aware, and I am choosing. When we become conscious of our desires, not just as cravings, but as divine circuitry, we begin to command reality, not just collapse into it. We can stop outsourcing our power to machines, systems, or even dogmas. And we realize that sex, breath, and thought in their purest form are the hardware, software, and power supply of consciousness itself. Consciousness is the master code. Technology is the mirror. And sexuality is the ignition. And you are the operator. So believe in your own erotic intelligence. Code your days in beauty. Microdose desire as devotion. And watch your reality reorganize around your turned on frequency.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of Quantumly Kinky with Veda. Stay turned on. Till next time.